Hello everybody, it's Crafty Kris here. I'm here to give you a quick demo on what you need to cut for my 1 o'clock class on Saturday. And I'm not really going to pay too much attention to the sticker sheet because I know that there's a few other people using the sticker sheet, so it's basically whatever you have left in terms of decorating. So we're not going to worry about the sticker sheet. What we need to have in front of us for our cutting is we need 1 sheet of scrap, and it has what do you call these things? The journal boxes on the back, okay? We need 2 sheets of white cardstock. We need the back of the Color Play advertisement for the green side. And we need 1 sheet of the washi tape that has the hearts on the back. The other thing you're going to need is your ink, or sorry, you're going to need black ink. You're going to need your stamp that was included in the kit and a stamp block. We will be doing this cut on Sunday because you'll have it out anyway for Darlene's. So I'm just going to show you briefly what we're going to be using from our cut on Saturday. So I'll tell you more about that, but for Saturday you'll need sort of a grayish dye or a grayish ink and a greenish ink, or a grayish ink or a brownish ink, but something that coordinates with the paper colors that we're using. Okay, so we won't do that today. We'll do that on Saturday as well. All right, so let's get our cutting happening. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to work with our white paper. We just need 1 sheet at the moment. So let's put all the others away for a moment. So this sheet we are going to cut down, and I'm going to use my chopper because I find it better and easier on the blades when I use my chopper on cardstock. So we're going to cut the cardstock sheet 6 inches, and I just want to double confirm because sometimes I've got my little lines and things that I put up at the top, but I want to make sure that I'm getting that 6 inches. So I double check that I've got myself lined up, and you see it's actually a little bigger than 6 inches. So there we go. That's my 6-inch piece right there. And I'm going to cut that straight down, and that should give me 2 equal pieces, which it does. All right, so that's our first cut. Keeping the 6-inch to the left side, we're going to be doing something with that. I need a 1-inch strip off this side. So this is slightly smaller. Alrighty, so we're going to cut a 1-inch strip off of this side, and I want to make sure that that's going to be 1 inch. Actually, I can do it this way, and then I don't have to think twice about it. There we go. There's my 1-inch strip. Perfect. This piece can go for scraps or using for our die cutting. Okay, so you have a 6-inch and a 1-inch on the white. The next paper that you're going to use is the washi tape, and we're going to take our zip strip off of that. Oh, it's hard to see where the zip strip goes. I'm just going to assume that that is even. Alrighty. Whoa, that's really weird. Okay. Why is that so off? That doesn't seem right to me. Let's check this edge. Yep, it is. Okay, so just making sure that you're getting 12 inches, because it seems to be printed slightly oddly, or it could be my cutter is out of alignment. So let's just double check and make sure we're doing the right thing here. So that is 12 inches. Okay. There we go. That's just a little better. And there's nothing really to keep in terms of reusing from that zip strip. Alrighty, so now we are going to cut a 4-inch piece. Okay, there's our 4-inch piece, and we're going to cut a 2-inch piece. Alright, so there's our 4-inch piece and our 2-inch piece. We're going to hang on to this in case we want to use it somewhere else. Okay, the next piece we are going to cut is our red, and we're going to take the zip strip off the bottom. Just want to make sure I'm measuring 12 inches here. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, and nothing really I want to keep on there. And then we're going to cut down. So we're cutting vertically so that the stripes are horizontal. And we are cutting a 3-inch strip. I'm going to turn around and use this. Oh, it's the same. Okay, 3-inch strip. There we go. There's my 3-inch strip. This we're going to keep aside. And then the last cut we're going to make on here is getting the zip strip off of this. Make sure it's at that 12. There we go. And I'm going to keep that piece because it actually has some nice stripes on it. So that goes into my scraps. And then we are going to cut a 2-inch piece. It says 12 inches there. Okay, we're going to cut a 2-inch piece. And we're also going to cut a 6-inch piece. And again, because my measurement isn't accurate here, I always just use my ruler to make sure that I line it up. Go this way, actually. There we go. And there we are. There's my 6 inches. All right, and this piece we're just going to keep aside. So what I need you to do before you confuse where these match, get a piece of washi tape or a Post-it note or something, and you're just going to stick it on the top surface where we cut the 2 pieces so that when we put our 2 pieces together, they are a matching set, because it's hard to tell which side you cut. So when I look at this, this tells me that this edge and that edge should be together when I put the pages together. Okay, so that's it for cutting paper. Now, going back, we're going to get our 6-inch piece and put everything aside. This is the pieces we're working with. Keep them separate from the pages that we're not working with so that you don't get confused. But you want to hang on to that other stuff because you may use it in other projects. Now, I think I'm just going to put a quick little clip on it so I know that these are the guys I'm using. And then this other pile of stuff, this I may be using, but I'll wait and see. The other pile of stuff I'm just going to put to one side and leave it in my container or my bag, just like this. So I'm going to put it back in my bag so I don't lose it. Oh, helps if I put it in. So the zip strips are all going in the same direction. There we go. Alrighty. So that's all put in there. I know that I can use that if I want to. Alright, so these guys, we're not going to do anything more on. We're just going to keep them aside. You can put my name on it. This is Kris's stuff. Alright, now let's get rid of our trimmer here. Now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I asked you to get your white piece of paper. Now we're not using the textured side. We're going to flip it over and use the plain side. All right, I am just going to, for the sake of ease, I am going to line this up on my mat. Okay, and stick it down with a tiny little bit of washi. Actually, I won't use washi just in case it takes the surface off. Use my reversible tape. And I got this refill, but it's, oops, I just moved everything. So I'm lining it up in here, but you can just have it on your mat. If you don't have, you should have one of these on because I think there was one sent in the kit. Okay, so now we are going to do some stamping. So let's get our stamp out. There we go. And try not to stretch it if you can. Sometimes it's tricky. And I have my grid on here. I don't really use it, to be honest. But I guess I should try doing that. There we go. It's all nice down there. Now, if it's the first time you're using your stamp, you want to make sure, whoops, got some air under there. Don't want air problems. You have to make sure you've started it. My thing for starting it is just rubbing it on the inside of my arm, and what it does is it kind of takes off that fresh surface. The other thing you can use is an eraser, a white eraser, and you can go over the edges of that as well if you're not comfortable using your arm. But my arm is handy, so that's the one I use. All right. Now, normally when I'm stamping, I put something underneath to stamp, but I am going to wing it today. And so we have 12 inches going up, and I'm looking for 6, so 2, 4, 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to start a pattern. So just watch first, and then you can catch up with me. So I'm going to get my stamp all inked up. Just want to check this ink. Don't know that I'm liking it so much. Yeah, pardon me while I go get a different ink. This does not look very clean. Let me find something that will work a little better. Sometimes if you have an old stamp or a stamp pad, they start to get a little yucky. I am going to use a number of things that I can use. Might as well use something that I trust. Okay. Got my black archival. And I'm just going to give this a quick wipe. Because I do not want to get black on me. All right. Oh yeah, way better. Oh yeah, very clean lined already. So we're ready to go. So now what I'm aiming to do is to get the center of these guys lined up with my 6 inches. And I'm going to move in approximately a ½ inch. So I'm eyeballing it, okay? We're not going to get too fussy about the measurements because once we get everything down, it'll be fine. I just want to be about even and about ½ inch in. Or maybe I'll make it a ¼ inch in, yeah. Okay, so there's my first one. Now, going in the opposite direction, I want to get the sides more or less lined up in the center so that we end up with this flower motif. So now going down, my sides are going to touch. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So now that I have my first one in there, I know where I'm going. I'm lining up my edges, trying to keep everything straight. All right. And this is going to go off the page, which is perfect. That's why you want something on there that look, I have my tape down there. Oh, that's not good. So don't do as I did. So this is going to be tricky. I'm not going to worry about it. There we go. Okay. Now, make sure you don't have any that's wet down there. And we're going to go up. This time I'm going to move my tape in advance so I don't go over it. I'm just making this all up as we go. That's what it's about, right? Craftiness. What can you do in the moment? All right, so we're going to go up from there. I'm going to have to stand to do this. And you're going to get the back of my head. There we go. And one more that's going to go off. All right. Now we're going to finish those flowers off. I call them flowers. There we go. And go back up here. Look at the back of Kris's gray hair. And one more. Okay, so don't go anywhere. We're not done yet. Just want to make sure I get off, because I have tape on my table. So it is going to be wet. Okay, Now, I'm going to take this and we're going to go sideways again, and we're intermittent. So I'm just going to line up my edges and the center. So I'm not going to be at the 6-inch mark. Okay, something like that. And I'm going to do that again here. Try and get it centered. There we go. And here, try and get it centered, more or less. And there we go. Now, if you hate it and you haven't lined it up and you've got like some little crossovers at the bottom, which I'm not going to be worried about, you can flip it over and try it on the textured side. It will be textured, so it will be slightly different in the outcome, but it may be fun. You may enjoy it. You're going to have a lot of pattern on this layout. That one shifted quite a bit, but like I said, not going to worry about it. Okay, now I'm not going to fill anything in. I'm going to leave it open like this, and that's all we're doing. So it's time to clean up the ink. Let that dry a little bit before you put it in your pile of things, and that's all you have to do to get ready. Oh, one more thing, sorry. Cutting mats. I lied. So put that aside, and now you're going to get your second piece of white paper, and we're going to do some mat cutting. Where did I put that? Make sure you have no black ink on your fingers. Okay. Excuse me. Alrighty, so we're going to get our mat. And we are going to cut it into a couple of different sizes. Okay, so we're going to make our first cut on our white paper. It's going to be 4. So this means when you put your photos in there, print your photos with a frame, and then you can trim the photos down. So this is 4 inches. And we're going to give it that 6 inches, and my thing is not very accurate, so I'm going to be doing this again. There we go. Oops, I shifted. This is a little problematic. That my, there we go. Just moved it again. It's a little annoying that my thing is kind of out of kilter, but I've had it for 100 years, and after a while things loosen up, and I could, there we go, that's it. So there's a 4x6, and now I'm going to do a 4x4. 4x4. This little piece you can put into your scraps. And then the next piece I'm going to do is I'm going to take a strip off at 6 inches. Again, lining it up with my ruler. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to cut 2 4-inch bits. 4 and 4. Actually, no, I'm just thinking about it now. So that's 4 and 4. So now we have 3 4x6s, and we are about to cut a second 4x4. I'm just realizing now that if you print your photos with a mat, with like a border around the outside, because you have the choice of borderless or with a border, you might not even need to cut the paper because it's already white. So you might save yourself a paper, but I usually print to the edge of mine. So now you have a 12-inch strip, which is good to use for a border or stamping or crop or mixed media, whatever, and a smaller piece that you're going to put into your stash. All right, so these are your mats. You have 3 4x6 and 2 4x4s, and that's all you need for our layout. And that is it, folks. So thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you Saturday. Bye. Don't forget, 1 o'clock.